Let's close it out here, Brad, with the 2020 Los Angeles Chargers. New quarterback Justin Herbert. Is he going to start? Is it going to be Tyrod Taylor? Gordon's gone. He's in Denver. So Austin Ekeler is going to be kind of the starting running back there. I like Justin Jackson, although I know they drafted another guy. But I like Justin Jackson to get some run. Don't love the receivers with Phillip Rivers gone. I think the receivers now, with respect to Keenan Allen, he's kind of a possession guy to me. I don't love the receiving core. Hunter Henry, yeah, it's great. I feel like Phillip Rivers put more value into them than we're going to get this year with an inexperienced quarterback.
Right. I agree.
The defense is tough. They're always tough. But to me, this team's been degrading ever so slightly year after year. I think they're the worst team in the division, in my opinion. Do you agree?
Yeah. Yeah, I would agree. And I think just kind of the scope of it is I think it's going to be a down year for them. You know, losing Rivers was big, I think, and I think they're just going to be off, and they're kind of entering into this area where they got to kind of figure out who they are now and what they're going to be doing.
It's like they've been in the middle of a rebuild for a while, and they've never really hit that reset button.
Yeah, right.
And so
well, they finally hit it, yeah, but they maybe should have hit it a year or two ago.
Yeah, and you wonder because like the Cowboys for years went 7-9 or 9-7 or in between, like for a decade. And it's like football purgatory. It's like you don't ever hit the reset building because you're always trying to make the playoffs. And I know they're trying. And I don't mind the coaching staff there. I'm kind of surprised that they kept their jobs after last season. But at the same time, I don't know that I would have fired him either. But it's just like I look at it. And it's like eating a Cliff Bar. Is it really what you want to be eating? It'll keep you alive, but is it really what you want to be eating?
Right, yeah.
They're the Cliff Bar of the NFL.
Great analogy.
Yeah. Look, man, like they had some losses. I think their defense is going to be good. Their defense is going to be strong no matter what. I like Ekeler. Whether it's Taylor can win games in the NFL, but he's kind of like Ryan Fitzpatrick to me. It's like he's probably not going to go 3-13, but he's not going to go 13-3. And so the question is twofold. One, how long is it going to take Herbert to take over at quarterback, which in an offseason where he hasn't had a single rep until training camp? I think that's going to take a while. I think the running backs will be just fine. But to me, it's all about the receivers here. Are they going to get separation enough? You got Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, Hunter Henry. They're not bad, but they're a lot like the Raiders receivers last year after Antonio Brown was jettisoned. Mm-hmm. They're not jumping out at you either. So I'm not a big buyer on them, man. I don't see anything to be excited about other than like, hey, Justin Herbert could be a good quarterback a few years down the line. That's about it to me. Am I missing anything?
No, I don't think so. They're going to be flat. That's what I see. That's what I anticipate.
So let me hit you with the line. And I agree with you. It's like flat Coke. Flat Coke.
Yeah, right. You can drink it.
Warm beer.
It'll get you through it, but
warm beer at a frat party. Like you're chugging, but is it what you want to be chugged? Okay, so let me hit you. So we talked about the lines in this division, right? So you got 11.5 for the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah.
The Broncos and the Raiders are both at 7.5. The over/under win total for the Los Angeles Chargers is 8. So the odds makers are picking them as the second best team in the division.
Well, who do they have that beast on the defense? What's his name again?
Joey Bosa.
Yeah, but okay, so the guy's pretty rowdy, right? I mean, he's one of the best in the league, right? Mm-hmm. So I could see where that line comes from. I'm still going to take the under.
Me too, because people don't respect defense enough. When you're looking at, you're always looking at how can they score points. Although to be fair, Brad, to be fair, when you're looking at in-game against the spread strategy, one of the key things, and whether it's me or whether it's the gamblers that are literally making hundreds of thousands or $1 million a year doing this, high-stakes gamblers, one of the first things you look at is what? Points per game.
Yeah, sure.
Yards per play. And the offenses and your ability to generate points, a lot of times I would argue is what has the difference, because the NFL is so slight. It's like 3 points either way. Defenses will keep you in games.
Yes, because one of the main ways to be successful is, are you able to make the other quarterback uncomfortable? And if you can do that consistently, like sky's the limit for your team, man. I mean, you make someone else uncomfortable, you're only letting them score 15 points instead of 25, and that's a big deal, huge deal.
Yeah, let's take a look at maybe the Dolphins, who we talk about on a lot on the show this season. What were they? They were like 5-11 last year. Everybody remembers how poorly they started last year. Well, their margin of loss, I guess, not margin of victory, because they lost more games. It wasn't a lot. And what I'm saying is, like, bad NFL teams, you could go 3-13 and you average every loss by 4 points. Like, most games are within a touchdown. You don't really get truly bad teams anymore. And so I think the Chargers, they'll be in a lot of games. So don't get me wrong, I don't think they're a bad team, and because of that defense by itself and their ability to run the ball. But like we saw with the Ravens last year, is a great defense and your ability to run the ball, that can take you to a 14-2 season like it did with the Ravens.
Yeah.
But when you start losing by 2 scores, do you have the explosion to make up that difference? Now, Phillip Rivers, for years, even when he was throwing a ton of interceptions, Phillip Rivers as a quarterback had that ability to come back from 2 scores down.
100%.
I don't think Tyrod Taylor or Justin Herbert are going to have that ability this year. For that reason, I am definitely on the under. I think their ceiling this year is 7-9, even with that defense.
You know, it's just interesting you say that, because one of the points you made was it's very rare that you get a team that's so bad that they just get blown out. Like, the Lions have not been good for a long time, but, like, I don't remember the last time Green Bay just beat the crap out of them. Right. Like, it never happens.
Right.
You know, especially in Detroit, like, oh my God, this is going to be such a pain in the butt game because we should win, but it's going to be so difficult. Those are, like, the most painful. It's a good point you made. I agree.
Yeah, and in this division, if I had to pick today, and I guess we don't have to, but I will, I would say Chiefs definitely division winner. If they stay healthy, there's no way that's not going to happen. Sure. Take that to the bank. And then I think the Raiders surprise a lot of people, not us, but they'll surprise people. Maybe 8-8, 9-7, fringe playoff team. Then I got the Denver Broncos, who are 7-9, 8-8 too. They're going to be fighting tooth and nail. This defense is going to be a lot better. We're just talking about not respecting defenses. And I think the Chargers are 6-10. I think they'll get another coaching staff in there next year, and a coaching staff, an offensive-minded guy that can take the rookie quarterback, put in a new system, and then also inherit this defense, which has some pieces. I think they'll be a surprise team like in 2021, 22, somewhere around there. But they're just not there yet in mine. I think they're on the downward slope. Once that coaching staff gets changed into something more creative, then I think they'll be a little bit better. That's where I am, man.